Welcome to This Explainer. Okay, let's jump right into it today. We are exploring a truly fascinating piece of contemporary Christian music, a track called Infinite Lover. Now, you hear a title like that, and you might immediately think of your standard run-of-the-mill pop ballad. But what we're going to do today is unpack the profound lyrical depth of this song. We're going to strip it all the way back and look at the core theological themes woven right into the lyrics. We'll be focusing heavily on how the songwriter illustrates boundless divine love, the ultimate sacrifice of Christ, and the deep, deep spiritual dependency that comes from all of that. It's a beautifully constructed message, and honestly, by breaking it down, the sheer weight of these lyrics really comes to life.
Right out of the gate, the song hits us with this absolutely staggering image. Even 100 oceans are not as deep as the Lord's love. It immediately establishes this immeasurable scale. The songwriter doesn't just say the love is deep, right? They ask you to multiply the vastness of the ocean by 100, which is wild, and then they flatly state that even this impossible volume falls completely short. It's such a powerful cognitive hook. It forces us to grapple with a literally infinite concept by using the largest finite thing we can possibly imagine on Earth.
So let's look at Section 1. Boundless divine love, measuring the unmeasurable. We're going to see exactly how this theme builds throughout the song's opening verses.
The lyrics do something incredibly clever here, by contrasting our planet's greatest physical extremes against the limitless nature of this love. Think about the absolute boundaries of our physical reality. We've got 100 oceans, the highest skies, the widest plains. But for every single one, the songwriter counters it. Divine love is portrayed as deeper, higher, and completely unmatched. The song systematically takes the most massive elements of human experience and shows that, well, earthly measurements completely fail here. It's just a brilliant lyrical technique to convey true infinity. And when the songwriter declares, "The widest plains cannot reach the Lord's love," it takes this huge abstract theological concept, omnipresent, infinite love, and totally grounds it. If you've ever stood in the middle of a massive, flat plain that just stretches out to the horizon in every direction, you know exactly how small it makes you feel. The lyrics use that exact feeling of physical awe to help us comprehend the sheer scale of the divine.
Moving on to Section 2, Christ's ultimate sacrifice, the price of infinite love. This boundless love isn't just portrayed as some poetic, floating feeling. It transitions into a hard, historical reality.
The song explicitly outlines these active, selfless choices. It doesn't just casually say the Savior loves humanity. It actively lists the proof within this theology. The lyrics describe how he sacrificed his life, endured unimaginable suffering for humanity, and reached out to the very ends of the world just to redeem our lives. The focus here is entirely on deliberate action. This isn't framed as a passive emotion at all. It's a series of difficult, intentional actions undertaken entirely for the benefit of someone else.
And then we get this brilliant shift in perspective. His love is so great, saving my life. The immense sacrifice we just talked about is framed in the lyrics not just as this grand historical event, but as a deeply intimate personal act of redemption for the singer. The scale zooms from the ends of the earth right down to the individual. In the context of the song, the Savior didn't just save the world in the abstract, he saved my life. That transition from the macro to the micro, that is exactly what makes the song so emotionally resonant.
Which leads us perfectly into Section 3, our spiritual dependency, the foundation in darkness. Grasping the sheer scale of this love and the heavy weight of the sacrifice leads right into how humanity fundamentally relies on it.
To truly understand this dependency, we have to look at the very title of the track. Infinite Lover actually redefines love from a mere sentiment into a sturdy, active foundation. We're not talking about fleeting romantic feelings here. In this context, it represents a presence and a savior that actively sustains a believer's entire existence. It's like the love is the architecture holding the whole house up. It is the solid ground beneath their feet when absolutely everything else gives way.
So, when does that foundation matter most? Well, the lyrics tell us, every time in the dark path when I'm lost, the Lord is there. All these sweeping, massive theological concepts we started with are brought straight back down to pure human vulnerability. I mean, it's easy to sing about oceans and skies, right? But here, the song acknowledges the gritty reality of the human experience. We get lost. We walk down dark paths. And it is specifically in those most disorienting, frightening moments that this infinite love is said to prove itself as an anchor. The core message is that God stands by the believer when they are at their absolute lowest.
Because of this constant presence and this unending love, the conclusion the lyrics reach is pretty inevitable. The Lord is my life's belief and foundation. When the love is infinite, and the sacrifice is absolute, and the presence is constant even in the pitch dark, well, the only logical response for the believer is to build their entire existence upon that rock. So how does a believer even respond to all of this? The song actually outlines a specific spiritual posture. First, acknowledging this eternal, ancient love, really recognizing its sheer vastness. Second, recognizing an unending debt of gratitude for the sacrifice that was made. And finally, it culminates in a joyful, continuous declaration of praise. It's presented as this beautiful, cyclical relationship. Recognizing the foundation leads to gratitude, which naturally overflows into praise, which then reinforces the foundation all over again. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a thought directly inspired by this journey. When the dark paths of life strip away all earthly comforts, where is your unshakable foundation? The profound message of Infinite Lover challenges all of us to reflect on our own spiritual anchors. It asks us to really look at where we turn in times of true darkness, and to ask whether what we are standing on is truly deeper than 100 oceans. Thank you so much for exploring these incredible themes with me. I really hope this deep dive has given you a completely new perspective on the profound depths of these lyrics. Keep learning, keep questioning, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.